into chicane around turn 9 are actually going to be putting more pressure on the right front tyres. Okay. So again, you additionally have to be careful on those two corners so that you don't ruin your right fronts as well. As you see, Glock now on a run. He's actually lifted up because I think he was blocked actually by Mortara.
Look, he's blocked Mortara now.
And Timo, what are you doing?
Idiot from Mortara.
Well, apologies for the language. You can tell just how upset Timo Glock is.
Over anyway. Box.
Please accept our apologies for Timo Glock's anger and his colourful language, but basically he took it into his own hands.
Be careful for the cars behind, not to block anybody else.
He's still doing it. He's still doing it. What is he doing?
Well, he's continuing to hold up Eduardo Mortara. He just feels that Mortara really held him, and now Timo Glock has taken it into his own hands to try and dish out some penalty here. Now, this is under investigation.
Push and eat box.
This could cause problems for Timo Glock.
Sorry, Timo's just given himself a penalty, slam dunk there, and Mortara will probably get one as well.
So Timo Glock...
Timo, pit stop lights.
We'll listen to the
so radio is working fine. Just on the grid you couldn't hear me, I was too far away.
Ericsson, isn't it?
Joel Ericsson, yeah, right behind him.
New tires.
So as Timo Glock comes in, Joel Ericsson comes in as well. Timo's got to try and do something different here. As you said earlier on, there's just a 1 point difference between Timo Glock and also Gary Paffett. So Glock has got to do something different. What he wants to do is... Joel Ericsson is very nearly going to have him in the pit lane. That was close, Chris.
Race between the pit crews there, wasn't it?
Whoa.
Only one wheel gun per side of the car. You know.
Here's a replay.
So it was going into turn number 1 then. So... Glock, you could see him run over the curb, couldn't he? And so there was room. You know, the gap was there, to be fair. He came from a long way back. Did Lucas not know he was there? But then, as Glock really attacks that curb, that unsettles the front of the car. He makes contact with Lucas out, doesn't he? Whoa, now that was supreme control from Timo Glock as he dialed on the opposite lock to control that slide.
Move that on the BMW driver to gain a place.
Here comes the potential overtake as Timo Glock dives to the inside now and does indeed go through. And
Timo Glock is getting attacked from Jamie Green.
I said he'd close the gap. Well, now he's right alongside and he'll have the inside for the next turn. Jamie Green then goes through on Timo Glock. No, he doesn't, because sideways back. This is brilliant, side by side, P1 and P2. And Glock over the rumble strips. He's back on, collecting a piece of Jamie Green's aero as he comes back on. Well, the fight has started at the front. So Jamie Green under investigation for forcing another driver to leave the track. Timo Glock did make it back on and remains in front. Another go potentially as his DRS is open, heading down towards the inside line, which Gary Paffett blocks off. Can Timo go all the way around the outside? Well, he's certainly carrying the speed, and Timo Glock does do it. That's a good overtake from Timo on Gary Paffett.
Timo Glock now is lining up a move on Gary Paffett here. The BMW, the bright yellow BMW versus Gary Paffett's Mercedes. And Gary now is having to go on the defensive here as Timo Glock draws alongside in the team RMR. BMW gets a better run coming out of the corner, more traction on his Hankook tyres alongside now. He'll have the better line for the corner coming up when they eventually get there, and it should be past done. Gary Paffett's not going to make life easy, but Paul di Resta just behind them as well. But Timo should be there, and through he goes, squeezing through ahead of Gary Paffett.
Timo Glock gets past Bruno Spengler at the hairpin and converts P4 into P3, and Matthias Ekstrom now. Maro moves to the outside, Timo does as well, but now we'll go for the inside. Maro is prevented from trying to go to the inside because Bruno Spengler is there, and actually that was just a textbook overtake of the hairpin.
Marco Wittmann goes wide coming out of the final turn, and so the yellow BMW of Timo Glock gets better traction and gets through, gains the place on the way into turn 1, gets a bit wide coming out of the corner. Here is a replay then. So this is coming into the final turn at turn 15. Glock had showed his nose. That was why Wittmann was already slightly offline, slightly out wide. Kept his foot in, but ran out of traction. And you'll see this bright yellow BMW firing up the inside in a couple of seconds' time. There he goes on the way into turn 1.
Timo Glock got past Rover Weekends, and that allows also Bruno Spengler to get closer to Rover Weekends.
On board with Timo Glock as he dived to the inside, going into that turn.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes,
clean fight though, please, boys. Clean fight.
The bell sound effects brought to you by... No, I can't say that. Right, through turn 3, back out onto the Parabolica. This is where Glock flicks the DRS. Now the window opens, the wing opens, I should say. This gives a real advantage to Timo Glock. But I'll tell you what, I don't think he's close enough. But he will get DRS off the back of the hairpin, won't he?
And here he comes again. He's going to go to the outside.
Oh, there is contact
touching
between the two of them this time. And Gary now, Glock with the inside. He needs to keep his foot in because this is the outside actually of this turn. But it becomes the inside for the next one. So Glock, presumably, as he runs Gary right out to the curbs. And that's to be expected, this fight between the two of them. It's extraordinary. Look at this, a little touch between the two of them. The back end of Glock's car just flitting out there.
Epic. Absolutely epic.
Brilliant.
I can hear the crowd inside.
They are loving this fight at the front. Whilst this is all going on,
multiple times on the rear.
Paul DeResta, who is lurking in P3, and one should not forget Joel Eriksson is lurking in P4.
And look at how many DRS usages
DeResta has got. Yes, I still think that Paul DeResta may yet have the last laugh. We will see. But for now, Glock has put himself ahead of Gary Paffett. What Glock needs to try and do now is to pull himself out of the DRS window, or put himself into a position. Oh, let's see this again. Now, look at them. I mean,
awesome.
So there is Timo Glock, who will round the final turn, and for BMW will take the victory. To take P2, it will be Mike Rockenfeller. For P3, after one of the most incredible drives, Gary Paffett. Joel Eriksson on his debut weekend takes P4. Look at the delight from Timo Glock. Ricky Collard, racing driver. Very, very competent drive from Timo Glock. It's been remarkable.
Okay, Timo, you won your first race with us. Well done, well done. Remember, your microphone is not working, but we are celebrating here. Congratulations for the run. Now please take the pickup, do fuel saving, pickup and fuel saving. Well done. Great job.
Paddock, he makes that trophy presentation. You never see Christian Danner without a smile on his face, do you?
Lovely guy, absolutely lovely guy.
The fireworks go off in a great explosion of smoke and sparks and colour. And the DTM ends with a Grand Prix driver winning, and Roberto Merri there comes home second, just 2.7 seconds behind. And then it's Bruno Spengler in third place, and Ekstrom as Glock celebrates with a bit of a donut.